Let's bring in Daniel Benjamin. He's the director of the John Sloan Dickey Center for International Understanding at Dartmouth College and was, until 2012, ambassador at large and coordinator for counterterrorism at the State Department, where he was a principal advisor to then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Dan, good to see you as always. What threat do you think ISIS poses to the United States?
An unproven threat, certainly a long-term concern, and given its international renown and the fact that it's drawing so heavily from Muslim communities around the world, it's something that we certainly need to worry about. And with that very large safe haven that has opened up between Syria and Iraq, really a historic safe haven, it's a big concern. But at the moment, there is no proven record of out-of-area activities, no demonstrated ability to carry out attacks. And if I had to say who the next attack was going to be carried out by, it wouldn't be ISIS.
Of course, there is, if it is providing a safe haven for terrorists, which you would agree with, I'm sure, then isn't there something of an existential threat in the same way that the Taliban was an existential threat pre-9/11? I don't want to make too big a thing out of it if you think it's really not that big a threat, but I have been hearing concerns from national security folks for a long time in this year that the biggest fear is that one or more of these Syrian Islamist rebels with Western passports could very easily get into Europe or the homeland and stage an attack.
Well, it is a big threat. It is a big concern. Existential means it's about the existence of our nation, and I think we shouldn't blow it up into that. 9/11 was a catastrophe, but it wasn't existential. I think that we have to recognize that there is a new dimension to the terrorist threat. It is rooted in this very, very large area that incorporates large parts of Syria and Iraq. And because it has drawn so many foreign fighters, ISIS will have a larger pool to draw on. But right now, ISIS is very much an insurgency. It's about thousands of foot soldiers who have absolutely no experience conducting elaborate international conspiracies, using secret communications, using transportation links, understanding how to use very sophisticated explosives, things like that. It's something we need to watch. We need to, I think inevitably we're going to take on ISIS in the theater, but I don't think that this means that we should jump the gun on the president's strategy of forcing the Iraqis to get their act together and to do something themselves to take on ISIS. Remember, as long as Nouri al-Maliki and his ilk are running Baghdad, and we hope that he's gone, then the radicalization will continue and the sectarianism will continue, and we'll only be treating symptoms, not the disease.
President Obama told the New York Times that arming moderate Syrian rebels in Syria was a fantasy. And in a new interview for The Atlantic, Hillary Clinton says something quite the opposite. She says more should have been done in Syria. Quote, the failure to help build up a credible fighting force of the people who were the originators of the protests against Assad. There were Islamists, there were secularists, there was everything in the middle. The failure to do that left a big vacuum, which the jihadists have now filled. Dan, we obviously have no way of knowing for sure, but do you suspect that that part of the world might be safer right now if President Obama had listened to Secretary Clinton?
Well, it's been well reported that there was a very, very deep debate, a very ardent debate in the administration, with most of the cabinet actually disagreeing with the president on this and wanting to see the United States pick a horse in Syria and arm it and see how far it could go and see if we could, in fact, get a kind of outcome with a moderate group that we wanted. The Secretary has been very clear about that. So has Secretary Panetta. So has former Deputy Director of Central Intelligence Petraeus. The President didn't see any way that this was going to work, and that was a dispute between them. Personally, I thought that we should have picked a horse, and I'm not sure that we are in a very good position now to run this one backward and to pick and to change the outcome of the course of events in Syria. But this is just one of those unknowns that we're going to have to deal with for a long time. The track record of building up such actors is not great. So, you know, it's an open question whether it would have succeeded or not.
Daniel Benjamin, director of the John Sloan Dickey Center for International Understanding at Dartmouth College, thank you so much for your time.